Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Rising video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Trinity Ghoul, its catalyst, and also just my overall feelings on the bow. A lot of people have been asking me if the Trinity Ghoul catalysts are worth it, if I like it, and just a couple of questions like that. So today we're going to be going over some of these catalysts. Not all of them, because I only have the first two. But we're going to be taking a look at the ones that most people can easily get and just talk about what they do and if they're actually worth it and make this weapon actually better. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys do, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys aren't ready for some more Destiny Rising content. So we're actually going to start this by just talking about the base weapon, and just so we are all on the same page on what this weapon actually does. If you guys haven't used this bow, it is a very simple weapon. Whenever you get a precision kill, your next shot is going to have chain lightning capabilities. So when I fire this arrow at the servitor, it will be able to chain lightning and hit the other enemies around. And just like that, the other enemies died, as well as the servitor taking a little bit more damage. So it essentially is kind of like an ad clear focus weapon, which is definitely one of the weaknesses of the bows. They kind of struggle with ad clear, so this is very nice for just giving you a bit more. Now the first catalyst is actually a really good one, and it kind of fits us the main issue with this weapon, which is just it's insane like requirement for actually activating the perk. Now usually the perk only activates on those precision kills, but with the first catalyst, it's gonna let you activate the perk whenever you get any final blows with the weapon. Even if they're body shots, they're gonna trigger the perk. If you kill something with the lightning chain, it's also gonna trigger the perk, and also any arc abilities. So if you fire your salvo at an enemy and it gets a kill, then the perk will also proc on the bow. Essentially, you're just increasing the uptime on you actually being able to use the perk and do that chain lightning by a whole lot. It is just like night and day a better weapon with the first catalyst. To the point that I don't really recommend this weapon unless you have the first catalyst. Without the first catalyst, this weapon is really not that great. It's a lot harder to like trigger that exotic perk, because not only do you have to get the kill with the weapon, it has to also be a precision hit. But with your abilities being as strong as they are, especially on Helhest, and just any sort of arc damage that we're doing, triggering the perk, it means that we can actually use it just a lot more often. Now, we are still gonna run into some issues, because towards higher end content, where things kind of match your level or maybe over level you, the bow just does not work well. And if you happen to run into a shield that doesn't match your weapon, it's even worse. So that's my current problem with the bow. Not only this bow, but also the mythic one, that I feel kind of weak in any sort of like high-end content. The Trinity Ghoul, even though you do get a bit more chain lightning, the chain lightning just doesn't seem to do like a whole lot of damage. I was playing a lot yesterday with the Trinity Ghoul. First we played it only with the first catalyst, and then once we got the second catalyst unlocked, we played with that for a bit. But the chain lightning damage just wasn't really there for giving us a lot of accuracy. Sure, it sped up things a little bit, but it wasn't like a huge factor. I felt like just using my abilities was a much better way to clear ads than actually trying to use the Trinity Ghoul. Which kind of sucks, because I really wanted the Trinity Ghoul to be good, but it seems like maybe they made the boss a little bit underpowered, and they might end up needing a bit of a buff to help them out. And when you unlock the first catalyst with the Trinity, it actually does feel like you fully unlock the weapon. Like, the base weapon is like the trial version of the weapon, and it only really fully becomes available to you once you have the first catalyst. To the point that I think the first catalyst should just be built into the actual like base weapon. I'm not sure why the activation requirement for a bow especially is just so restrictive. Now that's not the only catalyst we unlock, because we also did unlock the second catalyst band. And this is actually a very interesting perk, because whenever you land precision hits, it essentially extends the lightning rod perk without actually requiring any kills. And this is essentially how the extension works. Whenever you get a kill, you get your perk, and as long as we hit a precision hit right here, even if we don't kill anything, we still keep our perk. I'm gonna actually trigger this twice, and on the third one, this should take our perk away. But since we got a kill, it essentially resetted it, where we can actually fire the weapon again 3 times while still chaining lightning and still doing that extra damage. It essentially just adds even more damage, even more ad clear, and it makes the uptime on the perk just so much better, meaning that you can just constantly trigger just lightning strikes over and over and over, as long as you're hitting precision hits. But hitting a precision hit is definitely much better than having to get precision kills. So this did add a bit more to the weapon, and it did make it a little more useful for the endgame content, just because we can constantly keep chaining that lightning just over and over again. Now that being said, unfortunately, I still felt like it was a little weak, especially after, the resources I put into the weapon to just make it feel a little bit stronger and the uptime of the perk being a little bit better. But overall, I feel like for endgame content, the Trinity Ghoul is just not going to be it. Like I said before, for mid-game and like low-end stuff, the Trinity Ghoul can be very fun, since essentially just chaining lightning the whole time, you're constantly killing a bunch of bats. But when the enemies actually start to get tough, I much rather have the Royal Contraband than the Trinity Ghoul. Especially because the Royal, not only can it put out some crazy amounts of damage, but it also can chain lightning itself. So with that weapon, if you want, you can get a bit more ad clear, a blind, as well as being able to switch to the 3 burst mode and just do some crazy amounts of damage. So as much as I want to love the Trinity Ghoul, as much as I want to love the bow, I just cannot recommend that you put a bunch of like materials into this, especially if you're gonna want to do some of the end-game content. I think you're gonna end up regretting your decision. So I recommend that you put your materials into the Royal, and that's gonna end up being a better investment for you. But with that, we're gonna end today's video. Let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about the Trinity Ghoul. Have you gotten some of the catalysts on the Trinity Ghoul? And if you're somebody that maybe maxed it out, let me know how it feels with like that final catalyst. I definitely cannot justify actually unlocking the final catalyst. I already put enough materials into this thing. Ripped my materials, but I did it for you guys, so it's fine. But if you have a fully maxed out Trinity Ghoul, I definitely want to hear from you. Just how do you like the weapon? How do you think it feels now with the third, or I guess the second catalyst band unlocked? Just let me know what you guys think and what kind of activities you've been running. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.